It appears the missing minute of footage in the Epstein jail video has been found. Interesting. Now, that revelation, of course, has blown up the explanation given by Attorney General Pam Bondi of where that minute went in the first place. Oh no, there was just it was the cameras, and they're doing a reset every night, and so obviously that minute had to been gone, and then of course the video was edited, but whatever. Okay, so now that video was edited. Okay, about 11 hours of footage that was released back in July. They said it was raw footage, but it wasn't. Video forensics experts were like, nah, dog, that has been edited a lot, and there is literally a minute missing. What is going on here? That is not raw video. That is not what that means. Okay. Now, people found that gap, and were like, no, this is weird. This is weird. Now, Pam Bondi, who, had claimed many things about Epstein that weren't true. Like, for example, oh, I've got the Epstein list. It's on my desk. It's on my desk. I mean, right here. It's right in front of me. And then she went from that to what list? I don't know. What's this list you're talking about? There's no list. There never was a list. And what the hell did you have in your desk? What did you have on your desk? Now, she claimed that the security cameras watching his cell had cut out for a minute. That was a lie. That was a lie. Now, the new surveillance footage, which was released as part of the bulk online drop at 6 p.m. Tuesday, fills in that missing minute. Okay? Now, the result, though, unfortunately, doesn't really reveal anything additional. So, it's kind of a lazy cover-up for no reason. Well, and that really is the whole, that's the Trump administration regime in a nutshell. They do all sorts of lazy ass cover-ups for no apparent reason. Okay. Now, in the footage from the new files, there were just a number of guards that were visible walking around, working near Epstein's cell, and that was about it. That's it. So, unfortunately, nothing there. Okay. Now, along with the new minute, of course, the new releases also contain 2 additional hours of footage. Once again, none of which showing what happened to Epstein. So, there's nothing there. There was videos and documents as well, and audio recordings, emails, and court filings. But again, really nothing there. Now, the committee's ranking Democrat, Robert Garcia, said, hey, look, these new disclosures really ain't all that new. I mean, that's fewer than 1,000 pages, okay, from the Customs and Border Protection's log of flight locations of the Epstein private plane from 2000 to 2014, as well as forms consistent with re-entry back into the U.S. And he's like, okay, but there's really not a whole lot that's new here. About 3%, he said, of this document dump, the big massive dumps, okay, contain any new information. Where the hell is the client list? Where is it? That's what we're all looking for. That's what we're all waiting for. Where is that client list? Where is it? It ain't there. And Garcia points at Bondi and says, what's going on? What's going on? Quote, Pam Bondi has said the client list was on her desk. She could release it right now if she wanted to. Pam Bondi must comply with our subpoena immediately and release all the documents. The American people demand it. Release all the files now. Yes. Oh, but if they do that, if they release them now, that they might miss something that could implicate Donald Trump, and they do not want that to happen. That said, you have this weird bipartisan effort now with Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie that have gotten together to be like, okay, let's force the administration to release all the information they have on the Epstein files. So now Massey, he's pretty careful into saying that, well, look, Trump may be in it, but it doesn't mean he did anything wrong. He says Trump, he doesn't think that Trump's protecting himself. No. But he does think that Trump is protecting some of his rich friends. Oh, here's what he said, quote, I actually don't think he's done anything criminal. The 34 felony count criminal, and admitted, a rapist. But he didn't do anything wrong, guys. He didn't do anything criminal. At least not this time. Well, I'm not, the other times, I mean, he did some criminal stuff. But no, he didn't do anything criminal. Now he's just covering from some rich and powerful people that are his friends. Well, that's not worse, but it's also still pretty bad. In fact, he added, some of those billionaires are running ads against me in Kentucky right now. One of them is in Epstein's black book. So we're getting close to the center of power here. Embarrassment is not a reason to conceal all this stuff. We've got to get it out in the open, regardless of whose friends might be incriminated. I actually weirdly agree with that last part. Yeah, we got to get it out in the open, regardless of who is incriminated. I don't care if Democrats are on that list. Arrest them too. If you were with Jeffrey Epstein and you were, again, doing crime, okay, brutalizing kids, then yeah, arrest that. I don't care who it is. Arrest them. Yes, if you're on that list, okay? Look, I don't care. I don't care. Now, as for Donald Trump, I'm almost certain that he is in the files, and I do believe that he did those illegal things. Okay, and I think that's why he doesn't like what's going on here. This push for transparency, and so in fact, the White House put out a warning to Republicans in Congress, saying that if you continue to push for the full release of the files, it would be considered as a, quote, very hostile act by President Donald Trump. Really now? Very hostile to do full transparency and to release the files, which he campaigned on doing, by the way. If you want these files released, that is considered very hostile. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, joining with Representative Massey is Nancy Mace, who was spotted earlier this morning leaving a meeting with Epstein's victims earlier than she had planned. Now, look, longtime viewers, you know how I feel about Nancy Mace. She loves to get herself in front of a camera, loves to be center of attention, right? That said, this might be real, okay, her reaction to it. Now, on X, she had written, as a recent survivor, not 2 years in, I had a very difficult time listening to their stories, full-blown panic attack, sweating, hyperventilating, shaking, I can't breathe. I feel the immense pain of how hard all victims are fighting for themselves because we know absolutely no one will fight for us. God bless all survivors. Now, here's the thing. The irony of what she says is that many Republicans do not fight for survivors. In fact, more often than not, right-wingers tend to be the perpetrators of these crimes. Nancy Mace is defending those people on the same thread. She had called Donald Trump a hero in this and claimed that he was an FBI informant. Since when? Since when? The same man who had been accused by over 20 women, right? And including, by the way, a 13-year-old who claimed that he and Epstein had assaulted her together, okay? A man that has been known to have walked into the dressing rooms of, containing teen girls in the Miss Universe pageant, okay? And a man who has been credibly accused of rape and sexual assault. That guy, oh, he's a hero on this. Oh, really? Really? Knowing all that, it's not exactly a stretch to imagine that this is a man who had raped teen girls. But still, oh no, you see the Republicans that are still defending him while, funny enough, calling for more transparency on this. It's really weird. Look, they haven't released a whole lot of new stuff. As I mentioned, only about 3% of the stuff that was released was new, and didn't really tell anything. It leaves more questions than answers. But even that, apparently a hostile act, according to Trump. And look, Trump, his control of the Republican Party is pretty much absolute, except for about 4 people. These 4 Republicans who had signed the discharge petition. Okay, that's Thomas Massey's discharge petition to bring his resolution to release more of the Epstein files to the floor. So you had Massey himself, joined by Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Those are the only Republicans that are in favor of releasing more Epstein files. 3 Republican women, 1 Republican man. And they joined with over 130 Democrats to try to put this on the floor. Where's the rest of them? Where's the rest of the Republican Party who, once again, campaigned on this and were like, yeah, we're going to release the Epstein files. Yeah. Where are they? Well, they're too controlled by Donald Trump, who obviously does not want more of these files released. He wants them to go away. And I think we're all aware of the reason why he wants those files to go away. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.